With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Welcome back trackside once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. And tonight, the ASMR Hauck Designs Gen 4 Cup Series fires things off for race number 8 here at the High Banks High Speeds from Daytona International Super Speedway. A lot on the line here tonight. Final few positions for the championship chase going to be decided over the next 3 weeks. We're going to see who makes that cutoff and who's on the outside looking in before we head trackside. How you doing? How you feeling? Out there in TV land, race fans, glad you can all join us here tonight. As always, Dave the Cave bringing you all the calls from trackside. Speaking of trackside, what do you say we get rid of that track information Nice cool night here at Daytona. So let's go ahead and throw some of those David Spears Designs qualifying times over there to the left-hand side of your screen. Top of the speed charts, quick time here in qualifying belongs to the number 28, and just like that, Ed Hauck gonna snatch the pole position away, 48-23, with the bragging rights here tonight from Daytona International Speedway. As we've already said, a lot on the line. Race number 8 here tonight out of the 10-week regular season. We're going to head to Nashville Super Speedway. It ended all at Bristol, and Michael Overstreet going to end the run from Hauck at the top. New quick time belongs to the 39 machine. Overstreet going to lay down a 48-19. Andrew Walt gonna sneak in a quicker time down to the 1,000th of a second, 29. And now top of the speed charts, just 2 drivers left to put in their qualifying times. Only 45 seconds remaining here in qualifying before we head trackside for your national anthem. So things gonna turn around quick here tonight. We're gonna dive right into things. 250 miles of racing action lay before the feet of these American Sim motor racing drivers. And with the final few weeks, I mean, you gotta get it done. Right, these last 3 weeks are probably the most important in the season. To walk away with good, solid, consistent finishes, trying to break into the podium, and just like that, that's gonna do it. Andrew Walt gonna take the top spot into qualifying. We're gonna step away for just a quick commercial break, head trackside for your national anthem, so don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back live from Daytona International Speedway.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And back high above the high banks here at Daytona International Speedway as we get set for the Daytona 250 with the American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs Gen 4 Cup Series. Final few moments for these drivers to make their way through pre-race inspection. It looks like the majority of the field has, so we're gonna head a little closer to the track as these guys pull the belts tight and get ready for 100 laps of high stakes action. These old school Gen 4 Cup cars don't exactly line up in the back, so you got to be very careful about when you decide that you're going to make those bump drafts, how hard you're going to push, when and where you make the contact. So it's not a smooth ride by any means, for what some of the drivers in the field have become accustomed to with the new Gen 6 and Gen 7 machines. Waiting the final word from track officials on the backstretch, making sure everything's cleaned up and ready to go. Hearing word 1 and 2 now clear. The backstretch is clear. The safety crew making their way through 3, and it looks like they're going to give the thumbs up. So as you hear the music begin to play in the background, you know the sounds, you know it's time to run down tonight's starting lineup for the Daytona 250 roller. Off of pit road, going to bring the field to the green flag here tonight, behind the wheel of the DuPont, the Superman number 29 machine, Andrew Hall, your pole sitter. Michael Overstreet going to start just a his outside with Dave Gage. In head, Hauck back in row 2. Row number 3 here tonight from Daytona, Patrick Burrow and Alan Bledsoe. Cody Schultz, Alex Wiggins. Row 4, row number 5, Brian Tarnowski, followed by last week's race winner from Chicagoland Speedway, Derek Moak. Looking to go back-to-back visits to victory lane and pick up his 3rd win on the season. Moore will round out your top 10. Row 6, Marquis Smith and Nicholas Swing. Row number 7, Andrew McConville with Jake Hinnis. Donovan Ducardi, newcomer, debut tonight behind the wheel of the number 3 machine. He'll start inside row number 8, the venture. 25 of Christian Amott, just to his outside. Zach Miller, Daniel Jensen in row 9, Deontay Howard and Andrew Wall round out your top 20. Jeffrey Ingalls, Carlos Ramos, and Doug Argaber. Bring up the tail end of your 23 cars starting a lineup. That's going to do it. Music will fade. Drivers will smash the gas and get ready to go racing. For the first time here tonight from Daytona International Super Speedway, pace car in, and here we go. Green flag flies at Daytona. Pretty calm, orderly start so far here tonight. Everybody staying in their respective lanes. No real jumpers, whether it's from the bottom to the top or vice versa. Drag race down the backstretch. Inside lane going to have the advantage, working through 3 and 4 for the first time. Andrew Wall, your pole sitter, leads them off of 4. Lap number 1, gonna go in the bag. Your pole sitter bringing him back around to the stripe. We're gonna go ahead and drop that time in scoring. 21 pin sign of your screen. As we got a large field on the track here tonight, you can see back in the back, looks like drivers already looking for a way to get to the bottom. Bailing from the top side, but not bailing yet at the front. Michael Overstreet with a big push from the end. Hauck, he's going to send sail into 3. Advantage inside lane. Picking up the pace. Energy, momentum, now back at the bottom. All back the line. A lot of drivers that were in that outside lane, they've already elected to go to the bottom. Looks like some of these drivers are willing to just give up some time right here at the beginning of the race, give up some track position, just get to the bottom, ride this thing out for a while. 250 miles, the official race distance from Daytona International Super Speedway tonight. Michael Overstreet will lead that lap, become our first official different race leader of the night. We're going to see that quite often here. Inside lane, outside lane. They're going to accordion back and forth with each other. Seesaw, if you will, however you want to chalk it up. The outside lane's going to have an advantage, and the bottom will fight back. The bottom will have the advantage, and the top will fight back. But the more drivers on that inside lane, the more energy that can be built. As long as they stay nice and neat and orderly, it's going to be hard to overpower the numbers of the bigger line. A little bit of gaps here between your top 4 and the bottom of the racetrack. You see the Celsius. Number 91 of Patrick Coro, or I apologize. Coro sitting in the 5th position. But you can see the gaps right there. Aaron Alt with a little bit of a gap. I believe that's going to be the 11 of Alex Wiggins just behind him. But that's the problem, right? You got to be a little bit closer to keep that energy built up. But you also don't want to have to continue to drag the brake. Continue to crank the brake. You want to get yourself kind of that pocket of air where you can kind of run right at 3/4 of the throttle and just kind of keep it right there with an occasional like feather in. You know what I mean? Just to keep that momentum somewhat surging forward. But the guys at the top, they haven't given up yet. 5 of them lined up on the high side. Michael Overstreet leads Ed Hauck. You can see the 24 of Alan Bledsoe right there. The 28 of Brian Chernowski behind the wheel of that Kool-Aid machine. Look to break through here tonight. With Daniel Jensen in tow, the 4. With a solid start to tonight's race. Positions from there, he qualified in just 7 laps, so it pays to make those runs. Field into 3 and 4, you can see right there, drivers on the high side. And they're just now slowly starting to fade back. Looks like they're in the top 3 now with an advantage. The longer this goes, the longer these groups continue this battle with each other, the more sure that these drivers in the back what runs they should take, what runs they could take. So a lot going on back there. Just because we're single file doesn't mean there's not a lot of work being worked over all the radios between these drivers, crew chiefs, and spotters. I can assure you, 8 laps into tonight's race, 9 as we cross the line. Crew chiefs already asking, what are we looking like on fuel out there? How you doing? Where's your throttle tracing at right now? How hard have you been on the gas? Have you been full throttle the whole time? Where are you sitting at? There's going to be a lot of information exchanged. These super speedway races are somewhat looked upon as not needing a lot of talent. Right? Anybody can win. The draft's the great equalizer. You don't have to be a great driver. Beg to differ. It takes a special type of driver to be really good at super speedway racing. We had one of the greatest to ever do it, Dale Earnhardt Sr., really excel. But he was one hell of a race car driver. So to give me that line, man, you don't have to have the skill. I think it's just a special skill set that's honed and developed over the course of just so many laps and putting yourself in so many situations that you kind of see where the outcome is before it starts happening in front of you. Overstreet drifts like the track a little bit on that high side. So wonder if handling may be becoming an issue on the high side. Big push down by Ed. How could it clear that inside the lane? But Bolster going to fight back. 39 of Michael Overstreet keeps it up the top of the racetrack, staying true to the guys. That has helped him maintain a position inside of this top 5. Again, there's that accordion effect. And we've got one that says, I've had enough. Patrick Cora get a bail from third in line inside lane. He's going to try to get the outside moving. The Damon Johnson dropping to the bottom of the racetrack. That's going to leave us with just 5 drivers. A little bit of a bump draft, almost gone wrong. The back end of that big loading motor machine, Patrick Cora a little loose on the high side. We've been watching Dave Gage stay right on that green race for pretty much the entirety of this green flag start here. Gotta start questioning how those temperatures are looking, where the fuel pressure, where the oil pressure, water temperatures at. You can't afford to overcook these machines. Again, you think it's easy? Check out this field. I mean, just all over each other. It doesn't matter where we go with the field. You're going to see and feel a lot of pressure out here on the track tonight from Daytona International Speedway. Lap 13 coming to a close as drivers make their way through 3 and 4. Outside lane seems to be fading now as more drivers jump to the high side. Jeffrey Engel, I believe that is machine out 8 positions from where he qualified, but he's a little late to the party as drivers really begin to bail jumping ship now dropping to the bottom of the racetrack, 89 a little loose back in the pack. Daniel Jensen going to stay on the high side. He's going to be a lonely man up there at the top. Gap's going to close in, and he's going to be stuck on the high side all alone. So stuck on the high side all alone here. And just as we say that, Cody Schultz going to take that ADS machine on top of the racetrack, trying to create a run. But as we've seen there, drivers really begin to look to the bottom of the racetrack, right? That's usually a telltale sign that green flag pit stops are right around the corner. I would say we got ourselves about 10 laps before we're going to have to worry about those green flag pit stops as we take a look down here. Goodness, I can't tell you, one of my favorite speed shots right here at Daytona International Super Speedway. We've got a trying to bring you that one here. At some point in time throughout the course of tonight's race, sun setting in the background, track 2. The stakes racing. With every time these drivers cross the start-finish line, they draw themselves closer, not just to the end of tonight's race, but to the end of the regular season. A 5-week for the championship trophy here in season number 7 for the ASMR Hauck Designs Gen 4 Cup Series. Time's ticking. Time's running out. You've got to find yourself in a good position. You've got to get yourself to a strong point in the point standings. Definitely. But we're going to get to some of those point standings a little bit later on throughout tonight's race as we continue to watch this green flag run to open things up here tonight from Daytona. Three cars trying their hand on the high side, not really any advantage working. But for the moment, it's Jensen and Bledsoe. So we got Superman, we've got Batman out there on the track, the dynamic duo. Would it be the dynamic duo? I thought that was just Batman and Robin. It wouldn't quite be the Justice League, I mean, wasn't that a thing? Batman versus Superman? Wasn't that a... We're gonna have to ponder over that. Well, you know what? Doesn't matter. Wolverine's cool. Just saying. Moving on. The DuPont number 24 machine of Alan Bledsoe. Looking good here tonight. Bledsoe able to maintain position for the majority of tonight's race. Andrew Alt, though, and that Batman number 19. One of the biggest movers with team positions for where he qualified. He wanted to get to the front. The strategy for Alt is, if you're in the front, it's gonna happen behind you. And well, you just hope it does. Just a few laps away from a quarter of the way through tonight's race, right around the corner from green flag pit stops. Already on one driver to pit road. Jeffrey Engel gonna bring the 3G number 89. It's gonna be a solo onto pit road for Engel. I wanted to say things spreading out here, but they're not really spread out. I mean, the biggest gap from one driver to another, Alex Wiggins, Zach Miller, 0.3 of a second separating those two drivers. You can see the Celsius number Wiggins, 3 and 12. Zach Miller not too far off, just kind of hanging back a 4 lengths or so. Just a very large lead back. And we've got action on pit road, fans. We've got action on pit road. Jeffrey Engel drops the jack, cuts the car off, and the hood goes up. Crew members down there around those headers, pointing out something. They're getting the cutthroat signal to the crew chief on the box. That's going to be it. 89 gonna drop the hood as the crew begins to push him back behind the wall. Tough 9 here tonight for Jeffrey Engel. Early exit from Daytona. Drivers setting out to prove me wrong here tonight. He would have expected green flag pit stops already happening. So, I mean, honestly, race fans, it's an educated guess. No idea how many laps of fuel these guys can go. I'm just giving my best educated guess and opinion. I would say they're going to have to come to pit road before lap 32. There's no way they switch this thing beyond lap 35. Small gap beginning to open up behind Dave Gage, who's been right there glued to the bumper of the driver in front. Gage has been all over the tail end. We're gonna go on boards. Let's take a look. Let's have a just a little bit high above, well, maybe not high above, but just above that green flag of Michael Overstreet, sitting in the 8th position, trying to track down to 91, didn't hold it. Dodge Charger in front of Michael Overstreet, trying to track down Patrick Cole. Still, the 3-car team on the top of the racetrack, trying to maintain some semblance of momentum. Cody Sharp, Henry Jensen, and Alan Bledsoe on the high side here tonight from the high banks of Daytona jump around the track. Continue to try to highlight a handful of tonight's action-packed race here from Daytona. Race number 8 in season number 7 for the American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs Gen. field through the triangle, heading back to turn number 1 as we're going to take it high above the track with one of our turn 3 drone cams here tonight. Get a little bit different perspective as the drivers make their way down the backstretch. Now watching the Kool-Aid number 28 machine of Brian Ternowski as he's got Nicholas Wing right behind him. Having a little bit of trouble keeping up in that turn 3 drone cam. So we're going to go back up here. I love this shot on YouTube. It really gives you a vantage point of just how much these cars are moving. How much wiggling is going on. It'll be alluded to. We spoke about drivers on the high side, getting to that inside lane just before the fuel window. Well, guess what? There's only one driver on the high side. Oh, we got a driver in the outside wall. Driver into the outside wall of the backstretch. The Haas Automation, Monster Energy, number 41 of Doug Arterberg. He's going to have some contact with the outside of the wall. And these guys trying to prove me wrong. I swear they are. I swear they're out there listening. Somehow. To the TV coverage here tonight. Trying to just prove me wrong out there on the track. I'd be surprised if they get lap 35. Said they'd be coming up in road around lap 32. Originally said around lap 25. So we already had the lead. Well, these guys are making me look like it. I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, those of you that know me know that I don't. Single file through the field, a little bit of a gap between Patrick Doyle and Michael Overstreet. A break on the line for pit stops. We're going to continue to watch pit road. 31 laps of green flag racing behind us as lap number 32. Going to go on board these drivers. Eyeballing their first round of green flag pit stops here tonight. This is going to be crucial, right? This has got the look. This has got the feel. Green flag run type of race. We've seen it again and again at other styles of tracks, short tracks, intermediate tracks, 50 corners, those mile and a halves. We've seen it at super speedways, Daytona, Talladega. Can definitely lend their hand to long green flag runs. But where these drivers are pushing this fuel to, it's opening up a window of a two-stop race. Already eyeballing that strategy, right? We've been clean and green all night long here, so not having fuel consumption under a caution to do the calculations. You do it right here. 33 laps of fuel, 33, that's going to go to lap 66. Get the 99 from there. I'm pretty much in this fuel window. And there it is, mass exodus. Down pit road. Playing busy 3 wide, check them out. Alex Wiggins going to take control of the race lead. The 11 jumped right to the race lead. At the front. McConville with a big run. He's going to get the push and drop to the bottom. taking control of the race lead for just a moment. Now has a all lined up. Well, I apologize. That's going to be Jake Ennis lined up on the high side, trying to get back down to the bottom. But just not going to happen. Lane will not be able to make the pass. Everybody clean on their green flag pit stops that came to pit road. Nobody on the pit road police. A little slow stop for pole sitter. Andrew Wald, he's going to come out to rejoin the track. Back in front with this lead pack. And some of these drivers that made a pit stop going, oh my gosh, this is going to be carnage. Chaos here coming to pit road, sliding back across the track into the 16. We're going to have ourselves a little bit of carnage to go over. As our second group of drivers came to pit road, contact between drivers trying to make their way to pit lane and drivers just trying to stay up to speed. You have to give it a moment to try to go back and look at that, see what it all happened, see what all went down. Donovan Carty, Zach Miller, staying out on track. The natural line number 3, going to lead a lap. He's going to elect to come to pit road this time around. Zach Miller. What's Miller going to do? Looks like he's headed to pit road as well. Getting up to speed on the apron. Andrew McConville going to lead the charge off of pit road, but here comes Dave Cage and his group of drivers. All lined up, nose to tail. They're going to close in quickly on the tandem in front. There it is. We said they'd close in quickly, and they're going to make short work. Of Bud Convey. So we've got some different race strategies out there on the track. Donovan Carty staying out to lap 36. So on the track. He's out front all alone. He's got a long string of drivers closing in. You see it right there. It looks to be about 10 drivers in that pack closing in. Just like that. Short work, easy. Riding at the bottom of the racetrack, look for this 10-car pack. Trying to stay lined up, organized, and break away from the rest of this field. The solid gauge. On and off pit road, one of the fastest times on and off pit road. Just a 15 pit road delta. With a 12.8 stop. The last of the 15 seconds stationary in the box. The 404, his crew came to execute here tonight, and they are not playing any games. Got Gage back out off of pit road, leading his leading his pack. And that put him right at the front of this 10-car pack. International Speedway. This Trouble coming up pit road under green flag conditions. Now Higgins gonna fall her third. intensity gonna pick up. The level of concentration, the level of patience that you have to display at times during these long green flag runs and super speedways, some of the most testing for a driver. You can easily mash that gas to the floor, get around, and make some passes. You can do it, but at what expense? Right now, the 11 car pack here at the front of the field, 1.2 seconds in front of Marquis Smith, sitting in 12. And that gap is going away. Do you keep jumping out? Do you look for a pass? Or do you stay committed to the plan? Is there even a plan? You know, sometimes when I was still racing a lot with my dirty air racing teammates as well as the Turn 3 posse, we like to strategize and come up with plans, like pre-race, in practice after talking with each other after qualifying. We like to try to come up with a plan, something to execute during the race. And there's one thing I can guarantee you that happened to that plan every single time we hit a restrictor plate in the track. Green flag came out, the plan disappeared. It's one thing to talk about the plan, it's a whole nother to execute it properly, to stick to it, to stay the course. It's very easy from behind the wheel to see that lane coming and just jump out. It's very easy to see that we can build this momentum and lay back a lap, get a huge run, jump to the outside, get a lap led, get that extra bonus point. But is it worth the risk of being shuffled 10, 12, 13 positions? At the end of the day, it's a track position game, right? Regardless of what people tell you about restrictor plate racing, it's a track position game. Nobody is going to ever be able to pull off the feats that we see Dale Sr. do. Coming from so far back in the pack with a handful of laps left, 5 laps left, making all up to get to the race win. The level of the competition has raised. If you're back 6th, 7th, 8th with 5 laps to go, unless something happens to you, you're almost assured not to get to the victory lane. It's going to be too hard. You're not going to be able to make all those passes. Somebody's going to see that run coming in. Somebody's going to throw that block. So it's very easy to talk about being disciplined. It's another thing to execute it all night. And going against the grain from what we've seen here tonight, there you can see that bent water number 91 of Patrick Cora shuffled to the high lane, trying to squeeze her way back into 29, says not so fast. He's going to close that gap. Big wrinkles now from the line. He's got company. He's got help coming behind. Looking to get to his rear bumper, the number 90 of Deontay. Lap traffic just in front of race leaders. How will they navigate? 3 wide through the turn. 38 going to go to the high side. 3 wide down the back stretch. See Michael Overstreet and Brian Ternowski working together in the back. Ternowski trying to push the lead line a little further right through the field. But a parachute in the village. Overstreet. We're going to jump around to a handful of our onboard cameras here tonight. Let's take a look now. It's Deontay, Howard, Ed Howard. See you back here behind the 25 machine. Again, Coro not giving up the fight. He's going to take that top spot away. The 91 going to drop to the bottom of the racetrack. Take the top spot away from Dave Gage. Both of these drivers searching for their first checkered flag performance on the season. Both could really use a shot in the arm when it comes to the point stand. Handful of drivers listening action here tonight. Brendan Mathia not in the race. He's a previous race winner, two-time race winner. Clark Janikin also not in the field here tonight. So Janikin gonna have two solid runs at Nashville in Bristol if he's gonna want to keep his opportunity to race for a championship. Alive. We'll see the cross stakes on display last time around. Halfway to go in this 250-mile super speedway action right here with the ASMR Hauck Designs Cup Series. Run stalling out just a little bit on the high side. Deontay Howard not able to really work his way to the front as the 38 machine right behind him with Zach Miller. That 213simware.com machine listed for the time being. 38 being shown. First driver one lap down, so he's doing all he can to get himself back onto the lead lap to go fashioned away, and you can see Coro there. Coro seeing that momentum. He jumped to the high side for the block. That left the door open for Gage on the bottom. Dave Gage to fight back now has the 5 with Cody Schultz right behind him. Side by side, top 3 rows as we cross the line. Lap number 52 gonna go on the board. So as we just past the halfway point, I'm going to go ahead and give you a little bit of house cleaning here tonight. It's 23 to the start of the game. We have still got 22 on the track. With one of them. 17 left on the lead lap to number 4, Daniel Jensen. Going to be the final driver on the lead lap in the out. In the back with Christian Abonti. Abonti has lost this lead pack. 15 drivers. 15 drivers in this lead pack. Amazing. Drivers off the 2 coming back at you right down the back stretch. Once again, everybody chasing after. And you know, Gage, one of those drivers that really does, he truly needs a race win. Not just because We like to talk to the guy in post-race interviews, not because we like him in his personality, but he's had some amazing runs that just haven't panned out the way they should. A perennial contender for the championship, season in and season out. Gage, just this season, if it could happen, it's happening. That's the time of season. That's the type of season that Gage is trying to put to rest, to put behind him. He can break into victory lane even if he fails to make the playoffs. The season won't seem to be such, well, I don't want to call it such a loss, but it won't seem to be as big of a struggle as what the points may reflect. 5 laps past the halfway point, just about, I'd say 10 to 12 laps away from seeing drivers hit pit lane for what should be, or could be, the final stop of the night. Dave Gage's crew was on it for his first pit stop. Will they be able to repeat a sub 13-second stop? We're going to find out in just a handful of laps, won't be feeling already. Show these drivers some love and appreciation. All the racing action, not just here tonight, but each and every Wednesday night with the American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs Cup Series Turn Racing Network. So while you're here, while we've got you, if you haven't already, tell your friends and family to join us and watch some great racing action week in, week out, right here. 9 o'clock Eastern on the Turn 3 Racing Network. If you haven't already, join us in that push to 4,000. Drop these drivers that thumbs up, click subscribe, smash that bell. You're notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. David King, everybody else back at the headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one of you. Each and every time you stop by, whether you're sliding through just to say hey. Family, friends, one of our many decorated sponsors throughout the course of our many different leagues and series. We do appreciate each and every one of you. Without you, there would be no us. So while you're dropping that thumbs up, go ahead and give yourself a round of applause. Sun completely set in the background. The lights, a wall that illuminate the track. Will we see sparks fly? Will we see fireworks here tonight? As we've got 3 wide for the time being. Here comes Marquis Smith. Marquis Smith looking to make some headway. He's going to get up and around. Zach Miller move his way into the second position, but staying at that bad extreme highway. Looks like Patrick Gordon doesn't want to go up there, so we're going to stay 3 wide here, front of the field. Front of the field, Coro going to drop back down to the bottom, just in front of your pole sitter tonight. Andrew Walt, your pole sitter, dropped from the top 2 back to about 5th. And this is where he's pretty much been. This has pretty much been home for the man behind the wheel, the Superman 2 Pond number 29 machine. tell you what, Marquis Smith making it out up there. All alone, little bit of contact with the outside wall. Sparks, he's gonna fly off the right side. Oh, Smith, and he's gonna drop quickly outside of your top 10. Gonna fight now just to stay inside of the top 15. Just as we were talking about him flirting with that outside wall, got into the outside wall, a little bit of a scrape, down in the center of the corner. That's going to be some pretty significant damage. Enough damage with the contact with the outside wall to bring the 23 of Marquis Smith to Bend Road. Still a very long drivers within striking distance. Within Hauck's range, within race-winning reach of the front of the field. 14-car lead. Green flag pit cycle right around the corner. Our second green flag stops of the night. We have been clean and green for all 62 laps completed as lap number 63 on the board. This time by we seen trouble coming to Pit Road. For both Derek Moore and Alex Wiggins, will we see more trouble to Pit Road this time? 4 to 6 laps away from our second cycle of green flag pit stops. Man, it's gonna be close. These drivers are gonna be right there. I think they're gonna have to extend the run just a little bit. They're gonna have to stay out here until, I would probably say until lap 67. So about 3 to 4 possible laps for your race leaders. And that's the other thing, right? Dave Gage, he's been out front. Gage has been out front all race long. He's used more fuel than the rest of the field behind him. He's been able to kind of sit around in the draft. Maybe not going complete total fourth line. Being in that draft naturally allows you to stay out of the throttle and still keep pace. So how much, I don't want to say how much shorter on fuel is Gage at the front, but how much less does he have? If you call it, you call it. If you didn't, you know, we see this kind of fuel strategy employed with IndyCar racing, right? Especially at the Indianapolis 500. You hear all the radios, you know, we're good, let's just stay here for this stint. It's going to get us so many X amount of laps more. So our next stop can be a little bit shorter on pit road, gain a little bit of time here and there. That way, wonder how many of the drivers are looking at that. Deontay Howard sitting in 10th position. He was on the pit road on that 35. That's 2 laps later than the guys that he is racing with. Everybody comes to pit road in the next lap or 2. He stays out another 2 laps. He's going to be a little less fuel. And we'll see how it runs. And nobody comes with Dave Gage. Nobody gonna come with race leader, the 404 Dave Gage. Low man onto pit road. Oh no. And that's got to be almost a gut-wrenching moment there for Gage. He's had a fast car. He's proven he's had a fast car. He's been inside the top three the majority of the night. Was able to get to the front, maintain that race lead, and just to get left high dry. Under his second green flag pit stop. Whoa, trouble for Tarnowski onto pit lane. And Brian Tarnowski gonna nose it into that inside safer barrier. Killing a pit road. A little bit of a lock up and around he goes into the wall. Tarnowski gonna have to fix a little bit of damage here as we stay. Green flag racing out on the track. 2, 5. Car pass. All the raceway. Less than 33 laps to go there tonight from Daytona International Super Speedway. More drivers on the pit road this time around. 4 drivers going to break away. Cody Schultz will run to the pits. 99 of Nicholas Wing. A solid night here tonight for Wing as well. Has been pretty quiet. Really, somewhat uneventful. Sometimes those are the nights you want, right? You're not making big moves, you're not making big splashes, but you are making headway. And oh, we've got trouble on the backstretch. McConville gonna look to the inside of the 23. Send them both for a ride, and that is gonna cost McConville big. The 38 will head back onto the track, and that's going to bring the caution out. The caution flag will fly here. Lap number 70 on the board. A 30-lap shootout to the end. Green flag pit cycle's already underway. It's going to be a lot to sort out, a lot to figure out under our first caution of the night. No contact. Well, we've seen a little bit of contact there between the 10 and the 38. As the 38 came back up onto the track, caution will fly. That's going to open up pit road. That's going to open up an opportunity for us to step away for just a brief commercial break here tonight. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back with all your green flag action live from Daytona International Speedway.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams, race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
And we bring you back live trackside here from Daytona International Speedway as caution flag flies for the first time on lap number 70. Field double file ready to drop the hammer. Once again, to go back, green flag racing. Pace car ready to make that left-hand turn into the restart zone. We roll. Cody Schultz, new race leader on the bottom. Gets us back under power, and green flag flies once again here from Daytona International Speedway. We went high above the track for this latest restart. Wanted to catch as much of the action as we possibly could. Great run at the front for race leader Cody Schultz. He's going to edge his way in the front, but we've seen that too on the high lane work well on the bottom earlier here tonight. Now get Dave Gage push. Here, pole sitter Andrew Wall back to the front and back to the race lead off of turn number 4. We're going to cross the stripe, complete one lap under green flag conditions, and drop that timing scoring back to the left-hand side of your screen. Let you find and follow along with your favorite driver in the field here tonight. Top 2 clear on the bottom of the racetrack. And how about that? Andrew Wald and Renault side by side on the racetrack. One with the Mad Mansky, the other one sporting Superman on his ride. How cool is that, right? After our first caution flag of the night, back on lap number 70, that's going to leave us with 16 drivers. 16 drivers? Yes, it is 16 drivers. See, I know what I'm talking about, guys. Don't give me that look. You know what? Never mind. We're getting back into this. 16 drivers still on the lead lap. 16 drivers in this pack. No need to hit pit road. Right, unless we see some carnage coming to the end of tonight's race, coming to the checkered flag, there's no need to hit pit road. You got enough fuel. It's time to run what you brung. It's time to get the job done. 41 to get a stay on the bottom of the racetrack. Doug Argerbright trying to stay out of race leader's way, and he's going to slow that inside lane up. They scatter through 1 and 2, 2, 3, 4 wide for a moment. Contact there between the 41 and the 24, almost a big time issue along the track. It's going to scatter drivers from that bottom lane, scatter drivers from the top. Andrew Walt going to take over the race lead with the 10 of Andrew McConville. Back in the mix, McConville wants a piece of the front. You know, we haven't really mentioned him very much tonight either, but a driver with a solid run that has just kind of creeped his way into the mix inside of the top 5, up 18 positions from where he qualified to get seen. Third car inside lane behind the wheel of that number 97 machine, Lieutenant Carlos Ramos. Right here, ready to pounce if the opportunity presents itself. Side-by-side racing action all through the front of the field. Outside lane peppered with lap machines, but that's not keeping them from fighting their way back to the front. Little bit of a wiggle on that outside lane. Driver's going to have to be careful on the pushing. Looks like Patrick Porro a little bit out of shape, trying to stay on the tail end of that number 10 machine. The outside lane going to lose quite a bit of momentum. Dave Gage going to clear on the bottom of the racetrack. That's going to put Ramos even with McConville on the outside. Halfway down the backstretch, 22 laps in front of these drivers. With the miles remaining. And yes, we can math. We know we said it was less than 50, a little bit more right now. Okay, here we go. Less than 55 miles of racing action remaining here tonight. 21 laps around this 2.5 mile super speedway. In beautiful sunny Florida, Daytona Beach area, Ocala, Silver Springs, Volusia. Great area of the state. If you haven't had the opportunity to catch a Daytona 500 or a Coke Zero 400 in person, I suggest you get that marked off of the race bucket list because it is one heck of a time. Just saying, one heck of a time. It's not quite Talladega, but the fun and the atmosphere right there. Small bit of house cleaning to go through with less than 20 laps remaining here tonight. We started tonight's Daytona 250 with 23 drivers on the starting grid. We are down to just 22 remaining on track, but only 16 on the lead lap. Derek Moore listed as the first driver. You see that 16 machine. Third car, outside lane, trying to get his lap back the good old-fashioned way, but with a long way to go. And anything's possible. The Convo in front. Alt wasn't quite clear, had to regroup. That's a whole nother aspect, right? That's a whole nother game of in restrictor plate racing that we haven't quite visited. We haven't quite talked about here tonight. Is when you're trying to make that move, and you're inching down. Spotter really doesn't know if you're clear. He's saying, take it if you got it. Oh my gosh, big block there. And a big push on the back end. They're going to want him up behind. Caution, flag flies. Daniel Jensen going to be involved in this one. Carlos Ramos and Hauck. Oh my goodness. Let's go back. Let's take a look. From high above, there you can see Jensen kind of out of harm's way already. Ed Hauck, Carlos Ramos, Cody Schultz. Oh my goodness. Massive pile look through the corner. We're going to take one more look at it here. Guys, can we get another shot of that? Can we? And there it is. A bump gone awry. 24 with a piece of it. Oh my gosh. Ed Hauck almost up and over. 38 going to catch a clip. 39 of Overstreet also involved. Nicholas Swing involved in it as well. 5-6 drivers involved in this latest one here from Daytona International Super Speedway. That's going to put us under caution for just the second time here tonight. Man, I don't think we've seen the last of it. We're getting closer and closer to the end of tonight's race. Drivers are going to be a little more willing to lay it all on the line, pushing out the front of the field, stacked up a few rows back, and that's all she wrote. So now that we've found ourselves with a little bit of time on our hands, handful of drivers have elected to come to pit road. Top 5 get to stay out on the track. McConville, Coral, Alt, Gage, and Aaron Alt all get to stay out on the track under our latest caution of the evening. Let's jump into some of those point standings coming into tonight's race just around the corner from the championship. Chase kicking off. Christian Avanti came into tonight's race as your overall points leader, 42 points out front. Derek Moore, 48 points back. You see a close battle behind him between Arga Bright, Miller, Ennis, all within striking distance. Cody Schultz also right there, 55 points back. Janik Nikoro, 62 points back. Alex Wiggins, 10th place, 65 points back. With a handful of these drivers having trouble, it needed to capitalize on this. Jake Ennis, he needs to capitalize on what has transpired here tonight. Dave Gage, Andrew Alt, they all need to capitalize on this. Christian Avanti, almost out of the picture. He's back running in the 16th position. So you got to make up those points when you can. And a good opportunity for a handful of these drivers to give themselves a better shot fighting after that Season 7 championship. We're just around the corner from crowning a king here tonight from the high banks of Daytona International Speedway. And just like that, pace car lights go off. We will let the drivers loose once again when we come around 14 laps remaining here tonight. Long green flag run to open things up here tonight. Quick caution. Puts us back behind the pace car. But the boss man and the flag stand ready to drop. The green once again, new race leader. Your control car. Inside lane behind the wheel of that number 10 machine. He'll bring the field to the Geico restart zone. On the gas and away we go. Green flag flies once again here from Daytona. We're gonna leave the highway, drop down to the bottom, try to get a run. Up to the tail end of your race leader. That's going to put Dave Gage in control of the outside line. 29 of Andrew Alt, your pole center. Right there running. Here comes a move from the 3 on the outside. Donovan. Oh, when around goes Aaron Alt. Oh, Andrew Alt turned into the outside wall. Caution. Andrew Alt, hard impact. Still running. We told you we didn't quite think that was going to be the end of the caution flags. Things ramping up here at the end of tonight's Daytona 250. Let's take a look real quick. There you can see up the track into that 404 in the trouble, the mishaps, the misfortunes. Find the 404 of Dave Gage yet again. Another night that we'll watch that 404 have the pace, have the patience, but also walk away with the pain. Trouble on the track. Gonna put Gage deep in the field with just about 10 laps remaining when we see the green flag fly once again. Damaged, beaten now. At the end, you can see Gage coming to pit road. And that's it, you know, that's all it takes. Here at these super speedways, just one move going wrong, one bump draft, one push, one block away from disaster. And that's going to be a tough break for a handful of drivers. Aaron Alt turned on the backstretch. Moments later, Andrew Alt turned up the track and into Dave Gage. Michael Overstreet brings that PPG Paints number 39 down pit road for more damage control. And a much different front of the pack newcomer. Debut here tonight from Daytona International Super Speedway behind that natural light. If that's not a throwback, I don't know what you can call one. The natural light, number 3 of Donovan Carty, showing prowess under pressure. Nerves of steel. Jumped 2-3 wide at times. Was making the move right when it all went awry. And he's going to come out with the race lead. Andrew Conville back in second. Jake Ennis third. Fourth place belongs to Christian Abate. And what a turn of events for for Christian Abate as well. Right, we just talked about him maybe 10 laps ago. It was outside of your top 15. Now sitting inside of your top 5. An amazing turn for the better for Abate. A turn for the worst for both Dave Gage and Andrew Holt, two of your front runners in the field here tonight. Now going to start back in 16th and 17th. 18 drivers on the lead lap with 10 laps to go when we drop the hammer. It's all about take, no give, but Gage and Alt. You're gonna have to take some of these drivers' souls, really. I mean, they're just gonna have to. I hate to say point and pray, but almost. These guys are gonna have to just point the car and pray that it goes where they need it and where they want it. Here it is, race fans, drivers. 2, 3, and 4. Pace car ready to move out of the way. Business about to pick up. Drivers into the restart zone on the gas, and green flag flies once again here from Daytona International Speedway. Carty off to a good start. Don't want to jump out there too far and let that accordion effect catch you out. And just like that, the 10 McConville get a pull to the driver door. Now even through 1 and 2. We're going to keep our eyes at the front of the field, but looking back through the pack. Driver's going to have to make some moves. You can see the 404 of Gage abandoning ship from the bottom lane, jumping to the high side. He's got the 97 of Carlos Ramos that just bailed from the bottom as well. So as we complete a green flag lap, after the caution, we'll drop that time and scoring right back to the left-hand side of your screen. Let you find and follow along with your favorite driver in the field here tonight. Carty still your race leader, McConville. Trying all he can. Jake Ennis right there behind the wheel. That U.S. Navy number 25. Here comes Patrick Gorham. Cody Schultz going to be shuffled out on the apron. Got to be careful here. Going into turn 3, he's going to lose a ton of positions and struggling with the damage on the car. The 404 Dave Gage still outside of your top 15. Andrew Wall outside of your top 10. Back at the front of the field, side by side with your top 6. Still side by side for your top positions on the track. Inside lane belongs to the rookie Donovan Carney. The seasoned veteran McConville on the high lane. Jake Ennis right here. Christian Abati back into the race. Not a lot of side draft going on for the moment. Big push and wiggle at the front of the field. The 3 gets a little loose with a big push from Ennis. Yardage draft on display. Late in the going here tonight. This is the first time we've seen two drivers pretty much be deadlocked bumper to bumper, and it is paying dividends on the bottom. McConville just not able to go anywhere. Top 2 gonna clear. Now Coro looks to clear. Will cross the line with 5 laps to go. Jake Ennis gonna jump to the high side. Ennis gonna try his hand at the leading from behind lane. With the race leading already at the bottom. Stacked up side by side for your top 12 positions on track. Jake Ennis, race leader, Carney right there. Patrick Coro, Andrew McConville involved in this one. Alan Bledsoe, Christian Avanti, Nicholas Wing, Deontay Howard, Derek Moore, and Michael Overstreet. And round out your top 10. And right, who would have thought that we would have been talking about Derek Moore by the time we got to the end of tonight's race? Involved in some heavy contact. Was off of the lead lap for a good portion of tonight's race. But timely cautions, fortune. Here tonight from Daytona, Derek Moore now sits inside of your top 10 with only 3 laps remaining. Here from Daytona International Superspeedway, big wiggle. Ooh, big wiggle from the 90 of Deontay Howard. Less than 10 miles of racing action remain. 5 miles of racing when we cross the line. This time around will we finish under green flag conditions. Looking to win on his debut night. Bottom of the racetrack, Donovan Carney giving this field all they can handle. Popsicle sticks on display as the field streaks by. There's some racing action. And we've got a caution. We've got a caution on track. Caution. And that's going to put us under green and white checker conditions to finish out tonight's race. Donovan Carney sees the opportunity to walk away with a checkered flag in his first outing. Become a little bit of a bigger reality. Word from race officials, debris caution, debris out on the track. Piece of sheet metal off of one of these wounded warriors here tonight, gonna put us under caution for the 4th time from Daytona International Speedway. And that's gonna set up a short run under the lights. This is what it's all about. You want to win at a restrictor plate race? Get it done with a green-white checkered restart. Can't ask for a better time to do it. What better time than here? What better time than now? Donovan Carden looking to put a stamp on his debut, looking, I don't want to say write history books, because we've seen a handful of drivers do it throughout the course of our first 7 seasons. But winning in your debut, it's just a way to, again, to just put the field on notice. If we're going to be put on notice, we've got to step away for just a brief commercial break. We'll be back with your reaction till the end of tonight's Daytona 250. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the ASMR Hauck Designs Cup Series.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And back trackside as the field receives the 1 to go. This is what it's all about. All on the line with this attempt at a green-white checkered finish in the Daytona 250 for the American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs Cup Series. Final few races in the regular season. Final few laps here tonight. Have we seen the last of the carnage? Have we seen the last of the chaos? I'm gonna go with maybe. It's a safe bet, right? Nobody said we had to say yes or no. I think it's gonna be one crazy finish. I think we're gonna see some big pushes. I think we're gonna see drivers out of shape. We're going to lay it all on the line. Pace car going to dunk off. This time around, bring the field back to the Geico restart zone. Popsicle sticks will be on display. But we drop the hammer once again. Getting ready to nail that loud pedal in the restart zone on the gas. And green flag flies once again here from Daytona. Cardi out to a good lead here. Gonna have to keep that 91 close by. Looks to go to the high side. Not gonna be able to make that move just yet. Ennis still right there. Coro with a push on the tail end of the 3. The natural line number 3 will clear. Really make that move to the high side. Not gonna have time. Here comes the run. Big push, McConville on the back end of that number 25 U.S. Navy machine. The Chevy Impala looks for the race lead. We're going to keep the timing scoring out of the way for the moment, trying to bring you as much action on screen as possible. Off of 3 and 4, big run by the 3 on the bottom. White flag flies. Final lap here from Daytona International Speedway with a big run from Ennis on the high side. Looked like he may have thought about 3 wide for a moment. Up the racetrack comes the 3 side drafting, trying to slow the momentum on the high side. Drag race to turn 3. Halfway down the backstretch, Ennis with a little bit of an advantage. Not able to cap it off and drop to the bottom just yet. Fighting back on the bottom is Cardi. Big wiggle from Ennis on the high side. Patrick Coro with a huge push. That's going to push the 3 out front. He's going to make the move to block Jake Ennis. Now 3 wide, big push. They go around and Jake Ennis across the line. They're going to crash coming across the finish line. They're going to crash after the fact. Man, I'm telling you what, we're gonna watch that again. We're gonna see this happen again. Check out this move. Out of 4, right here to see. Cardi on the bottom, going up to make the block. Not quite there. Jake Ennis makes a move. He gets to the high side. Here comes Patrick Coro with a run. Looks to the middle, contact right there. Coro out of shape. That's going to get the 3 out of shape and right at the line. My gosh. I don't know that against. I don't know against much closer. That is one heck. That is one heck of a finish. Absolutely unbelievable. So as the 25 enjoys his post-race celebration and smoke show for the fans in the stands, we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break, get things set up and ready to go for your post-race interviews. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back here from Daytona International Speedway. back trackside at the conclusion of tonight's Daytona 250, and man, what a finish. What a race. Over 70 laps to open things up here tonight with the green flag run. Absolutely phenomenal race by all of these drivers. And we're going to dive right into things. We're going to jump to the man that walked away third here tonight. It was a race that was pretty much too close to call, but let's dive in now with the man behind the wheel of that number 91 machine. Patrick, it's Dave. How you feeling, bud?
Feeling great, Dave. It has been a while since I've had a chance to talk to you here at the end of a race.
Yeah, it's been a minute. You know, we won't call you out on how long or anything, but man, you gotta get up.
Right?
You gotta get up here a little more often, man.
Hey, I try, and maybe we're shaking the luck finally off that's been plaguing me down the last season and a half.
Well, man, if tonight's finish explains anything of how luck is looking like it's going your way now, man, that last lap, we'll even break it down to from turn 4 to the finish line. Man, what did you see from your driver's seat?
So actually, as we took the white flag, I figured with how the inside line kind of could get bottled up, all night long, it seemed once the high side had enough momentum to kind of drag us all back. I said, okay, well, I ain't winning this thing, I don't think, so I'm going to push the 3 to the front, and that's going to be a win to me if I can get him to finish. And, we came off of 4, and the high side actually was far enough behind that he had the opportunity to jump up and drop that block. And so I'm sitting here thinking, well, I guess now as good as ever, I'll just keep the foot in it, see what happens. It's plate racing. You never know. Top line could get all bottled up, and we get to sneak one away here. But coming down into the tri-oval, I think he tried to throw too many blocks there at the end, and unfortunately I couldn't just stay off him, so it kind of picked him up and junked a bunch of cars here at the end, but somehow kept the podium.
Well, you may have junked a bunch of cars, but I mean, honestly, let's not, pull any punches or anything like that. I mean, it's restrictor plate racing. I don't think you're ever truly expected to bring back anything but the steering wheel going into these things anyway.
Oh yeah, all 4 cars on KRI, we write them off as they leave the shop headed to the track to Daytona. We write them off. We don't even worry about bringing them back.
Well, Patrick, it's been a great pleasure to catch back up with you. We hope you get to visit us a handful of more times before the end of this season here. Good to catch back up with you. Good to see you back inside of these podium positions, walking away third here tonight. Before we let you go, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
Always got to shout out folks over at Bitwarden, make an awesome product. Go check them out if you need a password manager. Also, Proton VPN. Stay safe out there. They always say use protection. Use it on the internet as well. And huge shout out to all the folks that make this happen. It's a multi-person facet that runs this week in and week out. And then of course, Dave, thanks for putting on one heck of a show every week here. I love going back and watching these things.
Well, if you love watching them, you're going to love this end. You get to see it at least 2 times, one in regular speed, one in slow-mo. Some crazy action at the end. Great race for you all night long. Congratulations on the podium. Until next time, my friends, stay safe, and as always, keep it fast.
Thanks, sir.
All right, there you have it. Final few words for the man that walked away in third here tonight behind the wheel of that Ben Warden number 91 machine. Patrick Coro finishes out your podium. That's going to move us right along the list. And we're going to talk to the man that almost snatched that race win in his debut, but gonna finish in second. Man, Donovan, you almost set the world on fire. How you feeling, bud?
I feel pretty good. I'm just, going back thinking what I could have done different. I think if I had to do it over again, I would probably, when I faded that block to the top coming out of 4, I think I would have just stuck with that block and rode it out there. But, hindsight's 20/20. Is what it is. It's fun to get up there and race that whole last segment there. I was up there towards the front, so it was fun. Pretty good, clean finish there in the front, so can't ask for much more.
Yeah, I mean the one thing about restrictor plate racing, and it's easy for me to say from high above, watching it all unfold there, is at the end of these things, um, you, it I hope you don't take it the wrong way either when I say it this way. You can't have any decisiveness. It looked like you when you came at it for it looked like you thought about making it all the way up there, but then you were like, maybe I'll stay at the bottom. Was that kind of what was going through your head?
Yeah, so um, when we were about the 3/4 mark on the exit of four, I saw that the top lane had lost a little bit of momentum. So I was thinking I wouldn't even have to go up there and block at all. And then the 25 dropped down, side drafted that 91, pulled him back, which sucked me back as well. You know, I lost my push. Then I saw the 25 coming, so I thought I better get up there. And then as soon as I started fading up, that 91 started closing the gap. So I think, you know, the only thing I could have done different was either stay with my block, either at the top or not block at all and see what happens. You know, I think if I don't throw that block, I definitely lose with the run that the 25 had coming out of four and then going through the trioval. I think he would have got me. But I mean, it's hard to say, you know.
Yeah, I mean, tough choices are made at almost 200 miles an hour in the in I less than a split of a second. So I mean, all in all, still, even with everything kind of unfolding the way it did here tonight, you're gonna finish second, up 13 positions from where you qualified. Nothing to hang your head on. Uh, you were right there at the end with the opportunity. So does this give you any confidence moving on in this season? I know you joined us a little bit late in the running, but how does this work for you? Does it build confidence into these final few weeks?
Yeah, it always does. Finishing good at super speedways always, you know, gives you a good feeling because I mean, it feels like you either finish well or you don't finish at all. It seems like sometimes these super speedways are just a roll of the dice, you know. It takes one mistake from a car 10 rows in front of you to ruin your day, you know. Um, but, you know, finishing good at Daytona, these super speedways, I've always had, you know, a good amount of luck, just being real patient. And then when the time comes to attack, you know, working my way towards the front, and it worked out again tonight, you know, and I was able to finish clean. So always happy about that. Nashville next weekend. Uh, Definitely looking forward to that. I really enjoy the concrete tracks with these cars that have a lot of horsepower. So hoping for hoping for quite a few long runs there as well, and seeing what everybody else here is made of. I mean, this was a great race tonight. So looking forward to racing with them again.
Well, the patience indeed paid off for you here tonight. You almost walked off with a win here in the debut. We're going to see if we can get a chance to talk to you next week in the post race interviews. But before we let you go here tonight, would you like to give any final shout outs, thank yous, love yous?
Oh well, I love my wife. She's upstairs. She puts up with a lot of me racing. She's 21, 22 weeks pregnant now, so we're gonna have our first son here in a couple months. So shout out to her. She's greatest, and she puts up with a lot of my crap. So she's uh she's my she's my best partner. So
Well, man, I want to take this time then to say congratulations. I hope everything goes well with the upcoming child. Having two kids of my own, you never forget when any of them are born, but there's something a little special about the first one. Um, you're gonna have a lot of firsts coming up at you here very shortly. It sounds like. I hope you
yeah,
enjoy each and every moment of it. It's gonna get frustrating, but just like you showed patience in a calm demeanor here on the track tonight, kind of approach that the same way. You're gonna have those times where you just get frustrated, but I mean, the smiles and joy that you're about to have for free is second to none. So congratulations on the real life. stuff. Congratulations with the podium finish here tonight. We look forward to catching up with you at Nashville. And until then, Donovan, stay safe and keep it
Sounds
fast.
good. Yeah, thanks for having me. Hopefully, we're talking to you next week from Victory Lane.
And pull your punches and win to.
All right, well, there you have it. Final few parting words from the man that walked away second here tonight, expecting a child soon. Boy, Donovan, you're going to have your hands full. Just saying. Smart man, though. Thanked his wife first, foremost, making sure he got that one right. Donovan Carty, debut race, comes home second, and that's going to move us right along the list and right into victory lane here tonight. And it looks like we've got a little bit of a problem with the race feed, so we're going to see if we can't get that one worked out for you. But let's head right in the victory lane. Let's see if we can't dial up and have a few words with the man in victory lane here tonight. Jenkins, Dave, how you feeling, bud?
I felt better than I've been all season.
Well, race wins always make things feel a little bit better, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. After getting second, I don't know how many times, and third a bunch of times also, it's nice to finally say I've won in this league.
Well, man, you mentioned it there. You walked away with podiums here and there. You've walked away with pole positions. You now get that race win coming towards the end of the regular season where points are going to be big, points are going to be key. How good's it feel to get that monkey off your back, one, and two, give your point standings a huge shot in the arm?
Well, it's nice because I'm going I'm going for the championship this year. I didn't last year, but it's nice to get the win this season, and it's nice to get a good finish here at Daytona. These races are so wonky, and Talladega, I thought I had a chance, but we got wrecked with a couple of laps to go, and we were just hoping just for a decent finish. Me and my team, I think all four of us finished in the top 10, which is a great finish for us, and it's really nice to have a win to my name entering the chase, and hopefully we get a couple more before the end of the season.
Yeah, we've got Nashville coming up, and then what I like to refer to as the Blender, Bristol Motor Speedway, and that's going to be a crazy short track night to finish off the regular season. So as you enjoy the fireworks going off behind you and getting to spray some champagne here tonight, we're not going to keep you very long from your fans and the media. So would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous before we let you go?
First of all, I have to give a huge thank you to my team, Red Miss Racing, um, Andrew McConville, especially Christian Abbott and Derek Moore for helping me out and for showing some support to the all the way to the finish. I'd like to thank Red Miss Podcast for always being with us, TDR Media. Um, I'd like to thank Mr. Gage, Mr. Hawk, and everyone out on the track for keeping it clean for the most part, and of course you and the viewers for letting us race tonight.
Well, man, you gave the viewers and the fans in the stands one heck of something to talk about on their ride homes. One of the closest finishes we have ever seen across the. I've watched thousands of races, and this is by far the absolute closest, man. Congratulations on getting the job done here tonight. We're gonna look forward to catching up with you in the future. So until then, as always, stay safe and keep it fast.
You too.
All right, there you have it. Final few parting words for the man that walks away in victory lane behind the wheel of that U.S. Navy number 25. Jake Innes going to enjoy the fireworks and the post-race celebrations, and that's going to pretty much do it for us here tonight from Daytona International Super Speedway. As you can hear producers hitting those buttons in the background, it's time to run down tonight's unofficial race results, walking away with the top spot, first checkered flag on the season, the 25 of Jake Ennis parks it in victory lane. Donovan Carty going to debut with a second place finish. Patrick Coro finishes out the podium with Andrew McConvold and Alan Bledsoe rounding out your top 5. Sliding home in 6th is the 45 of Christian Abate with the Lieutenant Carlos Ramos right behind him. In 7th, Deontay Hauer in 8th. 9th place tonight to the 99 of Nicholas Wing with Aaron Alt bringing the Batmobile home in 10th. Derek Moore, 11th place tonight. Zach Miller back in 12th. Your Davis Spears Design Pole Center leading a handful of laps tonight behind the wheel of the number 29 machine. Andrew Alt will finish in 13th. Cody Schultz back in 14th with Alex Wiggins. The Celsius number 11 walking away in 15th. 16th from Daytona tonight belongs to Daniel Jensen with Michael Overstreet 17th. 18th on track to the 404 of Dave Gage. Ed Hauck going to bring the 7 home in 19th. Brian Ternowski back in 20th. 21st tonight to Marquis Smith with Doug Argabright and Jeffrey Engel finishing out the 23-car field. Here from Daytona International Super Speedway, what a night, what a race, what a finish. Down to the 1,000th of a second. An amazing finish, a great run, and we've got 2 more weeks of racing action coming at you before we begin that championship run. So if you enjoyed tonight's race, if you enjoyed the fun, join us in that continued push for greatness. Let's get to that 4,000 subscriber mark. Drop these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, smash that bell. Over there on the right hand side, get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Dave of the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. Whether you're the fans, friends, or one of the dedicated family members, we do appreciate each and every one of you. Without you, there would be no us, so give yourselves a round of applause. That's going to do it for us. We're going to begin to cut off the lights and roll the cords. Get ready to head to Nashville. So as things finish off tonight with fireworks, stay safe. Stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet you in Turn 3.